Augusta. You're watching News 12 at 6 o'clock.
Hiring our heroes. If you are married in the military, Fort Eisenhower wants to put your talents to work.
Because it's our military spouses who bring unique talents.
But first, just days ago, we got a rare look at one of Augusta's homelessness camps, and these tents and trash and more sparked a bigger debate over how the city and community might work together to keep the city clean year-round. The Marshal's Office is in the process of launching its Clean and Safe Augusta campaign, allowing you to be part of the process to help pin down these sites and tell us exactly where they are.
Until that gets off the ground, the Marshal's Office is still keeping their boots on the ground to find blight and trash sites like these. City Hood live on Washington Road, one of Augusta's main gateways, especially in the weeks to come.
Well, a lot of attention is on this area, especially with the Sheriff's Office initiative to help with the homeless problem. But it's not just a homeless issue, and it's not just a Washington Road issue. It's everywhere, and it's year-round.
And you'll see anything in here. You'll see toilets to sprinkler heads from the showers, roofing. It's a burden on the taxpayers of Richmond County. It costs taxpayer money to come down and clean this up.
From the looks, you would think we were at the dump.
It's not the first time that we've been given, information that something's been dumped here.
This is all here illegally. Both Lieutenant Billman and Deputy Justice see this and more every day.
We have surveillance throughout the county, especially in high dumping areas, to try to combat and catch these people that are dumping trash all over the city.
The Marshal's Office uses the video as evidence to pinpoint who is dumping where.
So the hard part about this type of debris is when you dump singles and roofing material, there's usually no receipt with it. There's no evidence where it came from. So it's kind of hard to track it down.
The Marshal's Office says they have a crew of 8 on their enforcement team. This handles everything from illegal dumping to homeless camps.
We really need the citizens too to help us out, and most of them do.
One, it's better for our community, and it's better for the citizens that live in it.
The Marshal's Office has a site that you can go to report blight, trash, or any sort of issue of that kind. That helps them get to these areas to clean it up. And we'll have a link to that website on our website, wrdw.com.
It is a huge problem, one that I'm glad they're spotlighting now.
They're constantly having to clean it up, too. It doesn't just fix itself.
And by the way, the Homelessness Task Force also met today with the Land Bank Authority, approving with moving forward on foreclosure for the old Good Samaritan Health Respite Center on Broad Street, possibly making that a shelter space. If the plans go through, the building will be handicap accessible to help those who use wheelchairs. They also hope to offer mental health services there as well.
Taking a live look out over SRP Park, where they're playing a little bit of baseball on a gorgeous afternoon, Riley.
Yeah, couldn't ask these later into the afternoon. Have a full look at that Easter weekend for you coming up in just a bit.
Riley, thank you. Less than 24 hours after a murder just outside North Augusta city limits, investigators say they're looking for these people: 23-year-old Stephon Dunbar, 29-year-old Shirlette Hayes. Witnesses tell us deputies saw the two suspects take off from that scene. They say the pair could be armed. They're accused of shooting and killing 32-year-old Tavares Burley. This was the scene yesterday on Old Aiken Road. Investigators were searching for evidence on the ground and from the air using a drone at one point. They say Dunbar was out on bail for another shooting that happened last March on Vidot Court, just around the corner from this crime scene. Again, if you know where the suspects might be, call the Aiken County Sheriff's Office. The latest data shows 21% of military spouses are unemployed, 21%, a number 4 times higher than veteran unemployment rates.
Now Fort Eisenhower is hosting more events to make sure, as Nick Veland reports, military spouses have more opportunities to find a lasting career.
Taking care of military spouses, that's the goal today on Fort Eisenhower, as employers are looking to recruit them and get them on their team. Hyping up military spouses, getting them to take steps towards a job.
Everybody deserves a cheerleader, and this is your first hiring event. You have nerves, and it takes guts to put yourself out there.
Nomi Stanton has been a military spouse for 30 plus years. She knows what it's like to jump around and start over in new areas, which is why she cheers others on to find employment, something she wasn't able to do early on as a military spouse.
20 years ago, opportunities were just volunteer opportunities, which is incredible, but now you can take all of the skills that you have and put it into a new profession.
Opportunities today help work with possible military movements in the future, so you're not on the move and unemployed.
You'd come to a new installation, you would find that there were lack of opportunities, and really it was difficult to have a streamlined, continuous growth of your professional development.
Elena Robbins comes from a military family. Her hero is her mom for keeping up with the constant movement of her dad's military career. Now she gives back by bringing jobs right to the other halves.
Knowing that they're underserved and underemployed and unemployed at 21%, almost 22%, 4 times the veteran unemployment rate.
More events on Fort Eisenhower will look to get more local spouses hired and bring the rate down.
And it's grown each and every time. This will absolutely continue.
The next hiring event will be on June 27th, and Hiring Our Heroes is looking to make that one bigger and better than this one. On Fort Eisenhower, Nick Veland, on your side.
A great idea to connect those spouses. And VA Augusta Healthcare System, they're welcoming women veterans to a resource fair. You can see a packed room there. A psychologist with the VA says women make up the fastest growing patient population across the healthcare system. So having events targeted for their needs is a great resource. Families and caregivers were also welcome to come to that event. Between AU, Payne College, Augusta Tech, Aiken Tech, and the medical school, it is no secret we live in a big college community. Getting these students engaged in the community is one thing, but there's a growing push to keep local talent here after their degree is in hand. The Cyber Innovation and Training Center is leading the push with that at Augusta University. Hallie Turner joins us live from their campus to explain.
It's one thing to complain about a problem and wait on someone else to fix it, but it's another to roll your sleeves up and try to solve it yourself. That's what AU students are doing this week to solve community issues in Augusta's very own version of Shark Tank.
Every garden has a few weeds. Gigi Adeodumfe says it didn't take her long to notice them in the Garden City when she moved here for school.
Why do they call it disgusta? Like, I hear people say it smells like farts, rotten eggs, or someone said it would smell like dead bodies.
The avid runner says she realized there was only one way to escape the smell.
I looked to fix issues. So when I came here and that was a prevalent problem that would impact my lifestyle, I realized that something needed to be done about it.
This year, she joined other AU students in a 5-minute pitch competition addressing local challenges and ways to improve.
When we first started to develop the solution, we realized that regular filters and ventilation systems don't regulate odor. There's no legal obligation to regulate the odor. And so we were like, we need to find a way to filter that targets odorization.
So she created a carbon filter that factories and those at home would be able to use that would hopefully eliminate some of those odors that carry out into the city. Alex Larson's idea came from his job at Food Lion. He's seen how inflation is affecting families, which sparked his idea of creating an app to help locals find better deals on groceries.
This idea came to me dealing with customers on a regular basis. I've had customers who said they won't shop unless there is a sale, because without that sale they couldn't afford to feed themselves, let alone a family of 3 to 5.
Sealing the deal to the judges to build a better Augusta.
It's easy to see something that you don't like or to complain about something that's not perfect, but taking the extra step to go through the energy of saying, how would I change that? Or how can I pull people together and make a difference that would make that better for everybody?
Now, both Alex and Gigi's teams took home trophies and some cash today, but because Alex's team placed first place, his idea will get a patent to help bring his idea in this community to life.
Really great ideas, and the idea behind his app is comparing the different prices, so something that we could all use.
Also today, the Grovetown City Council holding its swearing-in ceremony for Councilwoman-elect Soretta Smith. She stepped down from her role as council member when she decided to run for mayor back in November. Mayor Gary Jones kept that seat. And today, people in the community gathered to welcome Smith back to that council seat.
Home is where the heart is, and next at 6 o'clock, we meet 2 Aiken dogs looking to make your house their home.
And we are looking forward to a beautiful Easter weekend, but still going to have to deal with some pretty chilly mornings while that full forecast coming up.
Hurry! The Rooms to Go Kids Anniversary Sale ends Tuesday.
Just a heads up, if you're going to be driving across the Savannah River Bridge tonight on I-20, starting at 10 o'clock, they're going to be having alternating lane closures on both the eastbound and westbound side. They're doing some asphalt repair work tonight. Everything should be wrapped up by 7 in the morning. The shoulders of I-20 might also be impacted by this work, so just slow down, take care if you're driving over the bridge tonight or early tomorrow morning. It is progress as they finish up the work at the state line.
That's right, and luckily they have great weather to deal with, Riley.
Yeah, no rain in the forecast until we most likely get to the middle of next week. So luckily for our Easter weekend, the weather looks great for us. We saw nice weather out there today, finally brought back a lot of sunshine. Technically speaking, it was a little bit below average. We did see a high of 71 today. And you can see over the last couple of weeks, we've seen a lot more cooler than average days than warmer than average. But we are going to flip that heading into the weekend. Close to average tomorrow, may still just be a degree or so shy of that. But back above average Saturday, Sunday, and through early next week until another cold front does arrive by next Wednesday. So some really nice weather in store. But we know whenever we're above average this time of year, that is going to cause the pollen count to go right back up. So we saw some relief from this with the recent rainfall, but unfortunately with the wind picking up today and just staying nice and dry through the weekend, that is going to keep those pollen counts fairly high across the region. Temperature-wise tomorrow morning, if you're going to be up early, make sure you have a layer on or two. We are expecting temps to be near 40 degrees. Afternoon highs should be hitting the low 70s, and then just gradually warming things up as we do head into the weekend. Not going to be quite as breezy tomorrow, so you may see some relief from that if you're heading up to Clarks Hill. Lake forecast looks great on Friday. Temperatures there should stay close to 70 into the afternoon, but remember it is going to be some chilly mornings, upper 30s there tomorrow morning, then staying in the mid 40s on Saturday. And Saturday afternoon could get a little bit breezier with that southwest wind picking up. Here's our Easter Sunday, so if you are going to be up around sunrise for any sunrise services, temperatures will be in the low 50s for most spots and generally clear skies, and we should see a warm afternoon, most likely topping out to the low 80s as we close out the weekend. So really one of the nicer weekend forecasts as we have seen in a good time. Upper 70s Saturday, low 80s on Sunday, and just going to see those morning temps stay in the 40s Saturday, warming up to the 50s by Sunday. Here's a look at our projected wind speeds. So for tomorrow afternoon, wind direction out of the west, staying generally between 5 to 10. But as we head into our Saturday afternoon, southwest wind now starts to pick up. Could see those sustained close to 15 miles an hour, and likely going to see a similar outcome heading into our Sunday. But not much rain in our forecast. High pressure staying in control through at least early next week. So that's going to keep our skies generally sunny over the next several days. As we get into next week, our next system does start to approach, so we'll start to know some cloud cover Monday and Tuesday. This next system, though, is timed out to show up around Wednesday next week, and the eventual timing of that will determine if maybe we see a thunderstorm risk or two from that. So that's something we're continuing to watch next on the horizon. But luckily, no weather woes through the weekend, lots of sun and very comfortable temperatures.
2 Aiken dogs are looking for a new home after losing their owner to cancer.
Wrdw introduces us to them and tells us how the Aiken County Animal Shelter works to get dogs like these adopted.
This isn't where Phantom and Ghost want to be.
They're in a kennel right now for 23 out of 24 hours a day. That is not the dream life for a dog who's been in a home.
Kathy Cagle says you can tell they've had a good life just by seeing how friendly they are. But for them, life has been different the last few months after they lost their owner.
He absolutely adored his dogs. He loved them. They were like his family. But unfortunately, he passed at a young age from cancer. And so the family tried to rehome them and did not have any luck.
Because the family lives several states away and isn't able to take them in, they brought the dogs here. Cagle says when dogs like Phantom and Ghost come here, the shelter makes them a priority.
We really do focus on those pets right away when they come in. And when you go to our social media, you'll see a lot of that because dogs who've been in a home, they don't do well here.
Cagle knows it can be a challenge getting them adopted because they're getting up there in age. But she says they're still full of life and the shelter hopes someone takes them in.
We want them to have the life that their owner would have wanted them to have.
In Aiken, Wrdw, on your side.
So sweet dogs with a lot to offer some family, and if you're interested, you could call the shelter or you could just drop by.
And even if they can't be adopted together, the shelter just wants both of them to find good homes. So I have a feeling they're going to get a few phone calls.
I sure hope so. Okay, on to sports now. And the Georgia Bulldogs baseball team ranked for the first time since 2022. Their star outfielder is one of the main reasons why. We're going to hear from UGA's Charlie Condon next in sports.
All right, thanks for that, Dan. Students at Augusta University are helping raise awareness about sexual assault. This is the Clothesline Project. The purpose of this visual project is to motivate others to take action, empower victims to report, to honor a survivor's strength, and to provide an avenue for them to break the silence that often surrounds their experience.
Locally, we saw 392 sexual assaults reported last year. That's in Augusta and Columbia County, or Richmond and Columbia County. That is just in our ER. So we are seeing people in the ER. We see people of all ages and all walks of life. It's not just...
Sweet 16 Showdown tonight at 11.
All right, thanks for that, Dan. Students at Augusta University are helping raise awareness about sexual assault. This is the Clothesline Project. The purpose of this visual project is to motivate others to take action, empower victims to report, to honor a survivor's strength, and to provide an avenue for them to break the silence that often surrounds their experience.
Locally, we saw 392 sexual assaults reported last year. That's in Augusta and Columbia County, or Richmond and Columbia County. That is just in our ER. So we are seeing people in the ER. We see people of all ages and all walks of life. It's not just one community that we see. We do see a lot of 14 to 18-year-olds. That's a big thing in our community right now, and that's what we're really working to get those numbers down.
AU Somerville campus has been involved in this project for 20-plus years.
Just a quick programming note. March Madness is kicking off at 7 o'clock tonight, as Dan just mentioned. And that means Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy are moving over to My Network TV at 7. That's 12.3 if you're watching us over the air, or your cable channel lineup can also help you find that. Wheel and Jeopardy also airing the same place, same time tomorrow night, again because of March Madness.
And if you're lucky enough to have a tea time tomorrow, the weather looks great. Could be a little bit chilly out there early, but afternoon temps should be in the 70s. A quick look at that forecast just after the break.
Cars are smart.
Since I arrived here 3 years ago, I've fallen in love with the area. There really is a lot to do. Some of my favorite places include downtown Augusta. I love the atmosphere on Broad Street. Plus, I'm a dog mom, so you may see me sometime at Pendleton King or Evanstown Center Park with my dog Remy. I love exploring the city so I can enjoy it with my family when they visit, which is often. And of course, I've made lots of friends through work and play. This may not be where I'm from, but this is where I call home.
Coming up on the CBS Evening News, on MLB's opening day, the people of Maryland search for light amid tragedy. For a Heart of America, see how the Baltimore Orioles are honoring first responders and victims of the bridge collapse. That and more headlines tonight on the CBS Evening News.
Well, just a quick traffic update for you. We are looking from our Wheeler Road cam towards I-20. This is the westbound lane just past the Wheeler Road exit and going towards the Bel Air exit. And you can see this westbound lane is very slow moving. So just a heads up, we are looking at a little bit of a traffic backup there. Not quite sure if it's related to an accident or not, but just try to avoid that area between Wheeler Road and Bel Air Road there on I-20 westbound. Beautiful out there right now. We are going to see temperatures cool off to the upper 30s and low 40s by daybreak tomorrow. So a chilly start to our Friday, but a nice warm finish. We're going to see a lot of sun again tomorrow. High temps anywhere from the low to mid 70s, and should see generally sunny skies for most spots. Once we get to the weekend, we're going to hang on to sunny conditions, and temperatures will start to warm up more for us. We should be hitting the low 80s by Sunday, hanging on to the 80s early next week, and then more rain shows up by next Wednesday.
We have a live update coming up at 7 o'clock on 26 News.
Then we're back with more News 12 at 11. We'll see you then.
At the CBS Evening News, we focus on solutions, finding solutions to help people understand what are the right choices to make for you and your family.